Hey everyone, this is Walk-ins Welcome. I'm your host, Ivy Dai, chef and food writer. Today's episode is sponsored by Culture OC, the premier arts and cultures resource right here in Orange County at cultureoc.org. Today on the show, we have Kenny Jackson, who's the owner of
Hello.
LJ's Lounge here in Costa Mesa.
Hello. Welcome home, Ivy Day. Welcome home to LJ's
Thank
Lounge. Thank you for having me.
you. Thank you. Yeah, so when did you guys open?
We officially opened to the public on July 1st. And so it has gone extremely well. We're now up to about 6 weeks. Prior to July 1st opening to the public, we did a series of soft opening private events and activities just to kind of measure up to scale and just kind of target in. Sometimes we do a small brunch, a small dinner, just to kind of practice and rehearse service, get guest feedback, compiled a ton of feedback that
Mhm.
helped us confirm in many cases, in most cases, and then make some revisions where needed.
Okay. Yeah, I was reading that you guys did little like beach barbecue, right? Is that right? Not beach barbecue, but beach sort of
Yeah. So
testing
yeah,
before you actually opened.
yeah, we really everything's been here in house. We get a lot of questions about to go, about catering. Right now, we're really focused on in house. What you may be referring to is we refer to ourselves a little bit as soul food, but with a coastal approach
Oh, okay.
because I'm a California boy, kind of born
Mhm.
and raised in California. And so this is important to me that I don't lose both soul food heritage, but also my Cali roots. And so we're merging that together. Also within the menu, Chef Justin Munoz does an incredible job with respect to culturally soul food is not always the healthiest food,
Mhm.
from whether that, some of, the sourcing, the frying, etc. So we also offer a balance of some menu items that are healthy and mindful of the way that we make even some of the traditional soul food. So it has the healthiest approach possible.
Okay. So what's your favorite thing on the menu?
So I'm going to let the guests do the speaking that happens to align with that. And that our number one selling dish in the month of July, hands down, was catfish for dinner.
Uh,
And for breakfast or for brunch, I should say, on the weekends we have brunch. It was chicken and waffles that
oh,
narrowly edged out shrimp and grits,
mhm.
which all three of those rate very high for me. The catfish is from the Delta, sourced out of Mississippi. Um, and a very quality piece. Unlike many other catfish, it can be very thin, almost curls up and so on. But
Yeah.
this is a nice catfish fillet, number one selling dish for dinner.
Oh, perfect.
Mhm.
So yeah, because we don't have a lot of soul food here in Orange County,
We
right?
we do not.
Yeah.
We do not. I've been an OC resident since middle school. Went to high school and even junior high right on the border of Garden Grove and Santa Ana, right off of Trask and Fairview. Um, right after high school, started DJing a bit, a little bit of military service, and then a 27-year corporate career with Toyota and Lexus. Retired in 2024. But my roots have been California.
Yeah.
To your point, Ivy, there was never a spot that I felt like it really embodied and resembled and authentically represented a nice soul food cuisine in an elevated state.
Yeah.
That's what led to this vision and this execution.
Yeah. So how long has that was the idea simmering
Oh my
for,
decades.
okay.
I remember before going on one of my assignments from Southern California with our Lexus office that is in the Chicago suburbs of Naperville. That was 2006, and I had literally sat down and wrote it. So if you think we're in 2026, that was 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
But the vision and DJing for which my equipment over here for
Mm.
40 years, I've always enjoyed hospitality and music. This gives me an opportunity to do it. So it's literally been decades.
Okay. So while you're working Lexus, you're also DJing too, right?
Periodically. There was a little hiatus and period when I did not. But when I first started with Toyota in 97, yes, I was DJing, kept DJing for a little bit. And then between the demands of climbing the corporate ladder, family, put it on the back burner. And then during that same time in Chicago, my son and I started when it was making the transition from vinyl to more digital, started tinkering around a little bit. And then when I started getting ready to on that retirement descent, I really started picking it back up. And that was probably in, let's call it 2020, COVID. A lot of things
Mhm.
happened in COVID. So I would say the
Yes.
COVID period, that COVID period.
COVID. Yeah.
Yes.
So, oh, when you started looking for when you
Getting
started,
back into DJing,
oh, getting back into DJing.
getting
Okay.
back into
Mm.
DJing. Yes. Yes. And that fueled by starting to DJ more and the demand still from decades before. was like, might be an audience for my own place.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. And so how long, I mean, the process of looking, I mean, how long did it take for everything to come together?
Great transition, Ivy. Great transition.
Mhm.
So I I knew that I was getting toward that retirement time frame. Um, let's call it COVID and post COVID
Okay.
after officially retiring in 2024. So once I retired, I right before I had already started having a DJ residency at Hotel Laguna in Laguna Beach. And so
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
yes, so
Mhm.
I was there for 2 years. I was there for 2 years. So toward the end of that residency, I was walking through Laguna, and this was in 2025. I was walking down Ocean Avenue,
Mm.
and there was a little restaurant called 237 Ocean Avenue, and they were closed. And so they were closed on a Sunday. And so I reached out to the owner and said, "Hey, I want to do a pop up brunch, old school hip hop and R&B. I'll DJ. We'll serve some soul food." That began the proof of concept. So I started that May 18th or May 15th in 2025. And then it did really well. Super small, only about a capacity of about 35 people. So we sold out quickly. We were
Yeah.
kind of turned. Operationally was a challenge. And so then we moved it to 17th Street Grill in Tustin in August of last summer. That did really, really well. So much so that we're like, okay, this has legs. So I
Mm.
started working with a commercial broker because operationally it was a challenge there as well. I would tell you both of those venues are since closed.
Okay.
So then that was the proof of concept. We called it Soul to Soul.
Soul to soul.
S
That
O
was
U
the
L
sign on here. Yeah.
SOULTOSOLE.
Mm.
Soul food, but with the music that moves your soul, makes the soles of your feet want to dance. So
Okay.
soul to soul was
Soul
the
to soul.
concept. Soul to soul. And so this is now the permanent hall of soul to soul. But we in both of those locations, we worked the chefs to cook chicken and waffles.
Mm.
Um, we tried shrimp and grits and what things. They really could not execute it that well.
Mm.
One case, it was a Latin restaurant. The other case, just being a diner.
Yeah.
And so it suffered.
Yeah.
So launched out, worked with the commercial broker. Shout out to Jack McNutt. And we found this property early on, but just something wasn't feeling right. And then stopped, prayed on it, and then came back a few months later with a divine nudge, and this current spot of Black Knight. We got deeper in those negotiations, got an LOI by want to call that uh, late fall, like let's call it November, October, November timing.
Mhm.
Last year got an LOI, and then finally started working hard on the lease with the property management here at Triangle
What's
Square.
ROI? You were saying that.
I'm sorry, letter of intent.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. I apologize.
That's okay.
Coming from a corporate background, you start throwing
Yeah.
acronyms. So I apologize. Yeah.
That's okay.
We got a letter of intent that kind of gave the framework for, hey, if we're going to do this. And then we officially started negotiating on a lease very early in
Mhm.
2026. So I would tell you, Ivy, what's really powerful is that literally a year ago, I was doing a pop up brunch.
Oh, yeah.
And now I come full circle to being in a restaurant space. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. That is pretty amazing. That's how it happens. Like, I lived in France for about 10 years and I opened a cafe and it was kind of, I mean, of course, it's like as a chef, you always think of that. It's always in the back of your mind. But for it to kind of come together, I was burnt out from what I was doing. And I think the time from when I started looking to got the lease, I think was like 2 months. Right? And
That's
I
fast.
didn't have I didn't have the funds. I had people come in and help me, invest, and it's like, yeah, when Providence, and the will is strong enough, Providence
Yeah,
moves.
I agree.
So
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
incredible.
I agree. I agree.
So
And
yeah.
kudos to you because I don't know how you feel about it. To me, mustering up the courage is a big deal. And being, in our society, people they want success, but they're not willing to fail. And you
Mm,
can't have one without the other.
mhm.
So you have to. So kudos to you for taking that risk in another country. That's
Yeah.
bold.
Yeah. And then we had COVID, which I mean, we still survived during COVID, but then it just wasn't. COVID friendly. I just didn't want to deal with it and its negative selling. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But you learned some valuable
Oh, it
lessons,
was amazing. The community, the food. I mean, then you learn so much.
especially about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's business 101.
Yes.
Yeah. Business. Well, but actually, with your background in corporate and hospitality, so actually, you really are primed to really open a place.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I feel like many of the skills and much of the knowledge from an entrepreneur as a DJ,
Mm.
because you kind of heard my son talk about how he's doing weddings. I was DJing weddings, a ton of them. Even did my last one. I'm not DJing any more weddings.
Mm.
Did the last one literally a month ago. But you take the entrepreneur side, and then you take that corporate side, and this tribute that I have to my mom, that Black culture. Mom was very strict
Yeah.
and in high demand, and I think you can understand that. And then 27 years working for the Japanese, and people don't understand working for Toyota Lexus corporate, and being and climbing that ladder from call center basically to boardroom, and how meticulous the Japanese culture is, and all those principles.
Interesting.
Much of it is very transferable. Um, I think I earned the respect of Chef Justin, as well as I have a consultant, Chef Charles Smith of the Azurus Group, because I wanted someone to kind of help me find pitfalls and not step into that pothole, right?
Smart.
So I have a consultant
Okay.
that has a
Yeah.
vested interest, a small
Mm.
vested interest, but it works. And so it's very transferable when you apply. To me, cooking is an art,
Yeah.
which my DJ thing respects that.
Yeah.
But cooking is also the kitchen's also a business. So
Yeah.
I think of the kitchen to me it's a production line. So I've gone in the kitchen sometimes and I've seen them walking in the Japanese culture. I'm like, why do you have that ingredient that you need so quickly way over there? It should be right here by you because again, Toyota, we're like, don't waste step. It's called muda. That's
Yeah.
wasted time, wasted steps.
Yeah. It's
If you
wasted.
use that all the time, that should be there. And so I think
Mm.
a lot of that is
Mm.
very transferable from an outside, ignorant perspective.
Yeah. Production line. Yeah. That's amazing. And then, so has it been everything that you've dreamed of so far?
It's been everything and more, positive and negative. So let's keep it real.
Yeah.
And I don't know if negative is the right way. Let's say, let's say what's been transferable, digestible, and transferable, what's difficult.
Yeah.
And there's so many curveballs. Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. Like, what did you not expect? Or,
We're sitting in front of these beautiful purple curtains, and the fire marshal comes in and goes, "Do you have those treated for fire retardant?" No. Well, you better get those things treated for fire retardant and get a little sticker and a tag on it. Okay. The things that you can't predict with, and as in lease, so to speak, as far as, the condition of the equipment.
Mhm.
You gotta learn about the health department. You gotta, learn about Servco. Yeah. So there's so many different
Mm.
elements, the depth and the breadth, you know
Oh,
what I mean, that
okay.
you can take for
Yeah.
granted. Like everyone
Yeah.
thinks it's easy, but the amount of details, yeah. So
Definitely. And then what about the unexpected, you know, pleasures and joys and or amplification of what you kind of
I'll never
imagine?
forget my girlfriend saying something to me very, very powerful. I was leaving a DJ set at Hotel Laguna, and we had started really working on the business plan and starting refining it. And I remember the conversation going, "What's the number one thing that concerns you?" And I said it without hesitation, and it is true to this moment as it was back then. It's the people. That's the unexpected, whether the people is your staff, whether the
Yeah.
people is your customers, whether the people is your vendor. The people is always, that's the fun part. And that's the part that can be the most difficult at times. Let's say it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, I think that's the biggest piece. You think you made the right hire, then you figured something out, or hey, you thought this vendor could promise this, and then they don't come through. So I think the people is typically the wild card that you got to deal with.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell me because there's a lot of stuff. So you're open for dinner, but then you also have brunch, right? This whole
Mhm.
brunch. But is there a DJ set every night while at dinner, or tell us about all the
Yeah.
options.
So the concept started with the brunch. So brunch is only on the weekends.
Okay.
So right now, I think one of the things that I strive to lean on the consultant, lean on faith, lean on wisdom. I turned 60 yesterday. So if I'm not getting smarter, there's a problem.
Okay.
So I think we're going in phases. And so what I would tell you is we're only open for dinner during the week, and then we're open for brunch on the weekend. So we open at 11 and then we close. We're going to close a little bit later on the weekend because people are saying the live entertainment is what they want. That has been the resounding thing of when you have live entertainment, when you have DJ sets.
Mm.
So we don't necessarily do that during the week on the school night and the work nights. So we're doing karaoke on Wednesday. We're doing the Taco Tuesday with a soulful version tonight, which is fun. And then we're going to have Thursday night football because I'm an athlete. I don't want to be a sports bar, but still taking advantage of that opportunity because we have the multiple TVs here. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday really lean into that live entertainment. But I think it's still seeking and finding and listening and responding. So we'll get there, but the music is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, heavy music. So DJ sets late at night, singing during dinner.
Mhm.
We'll get to some bands, but because we're such an intimate venue,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be overpowering. I don't want, you're sitting at a table with a significant other colleague and you're like, hey, what did you say?
Yeah.
So I want that to be balanced. I'm very particular about that. So I want it to be just like this intimate, wonderful dinner, great soul food, incredible ambiance, excellent service, and the music adds to the atmosphere. It doesn't overpower or dominate it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because what other places around here actually do live music? I just did an article on day parties, right?
Mhm.
On daytime entertainment and
Mhm.
food, and I couldn't really find that many
No,
or year round as
no,
well.
no,
So,
no. I'm excited. Really gonna begin to push market that Soul to Soul is back because we had a very significant thunderous following from all over Southern California, like people driving from all over the place because to your point, it's not readily available. So now we have this excellent food, we have this beautiful venue, and now we can deliver on everything that we want. So I'm super excited. So the day parties is kind of what happens during our brunch. It's a DJ set on Saturday. So
yeah.
12 to 3 will be a DJ set, old school hip hop, R&B, soul, funk. And then on Sunday, we have basically our version of a gospel brunch.
Oh,
And the singers do 3 sets. The first set, heavily kind of a gospel, soulful flavor. And then the second one's like a soulful, jazzy, funky flavor. And then the third one, they start to go into like a reggae flavor. And that'll be the plan is to eventually have like a small little maybe reggae DJ set or a reggae Afro beats little band or steel drums to have that
mm.
Sunday kind of relaxed beach vibe is maybe kind of what you're referring to.
Okay. And then is it gonna be you DJing, other guest DJs,
Combination.
singers? Okay.
Yes. Right now we have singers on Sunday.
Okay.
I DJ on Saturday, but there will be guest DJs and all throughout. I gotta watch my bandwidth, as my son would say, manage my bandwidth.
Yeah, managing that. And what about podcasts? You had started a
Love.
podcast at the beginning.
We started doing a ton early on. So
Yeah,
the marketing as a marketing major from Cal State Fullerton,
got it.
the the mindset was, hey, I'm going to leverage this corporate background. We're going to start marketing and building demand before we open. I feel like too many
Smart.
businesses wait until they open and now you're looking for customers. I wanted to get the concept, the demand, the awareness. We call that top of funnel. I wanted to start getting in your consideration set early. And then when it was time for it to open, you were waiting. And it worked perfectly in the
Yeah.
sense people were literally coming by. I thought you were open. I seen it. I thought you were open. Not yet, not yet, not yet.
No,
So
that's perfect.
yeah, yeah, it's worked out well.
Yeah. So are you like, what's business? Well, it's only been
6 weeks.
weeks and I'm already here, actually. That's good on your PR team.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Shout out
Um,
to Kyle Jackson, Jordan Waves.
and so, I mean, are you at full capacity yet, or are people kind of just figuring things out, or
Yeah,
I
great.
mean, because you're not really even doing soft open. I mean, what's the soft opening? But I don't know if you're gonna do like a grand opening later. Or
We did do a grand opening.
oh,
So
okay, you did do
we
grand
did, we
opening. Okay.
did. So July 17th was the grand opening. So we started doing the soft openings of July 1st. And that really was just dinner. And then really very limited activities. July 1st, and we really started being open on the weekends. And so that far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
With the mayor of Costa Mesa here, Jane, that leads the PR activities from Triangle Square, we had Congress people in there, we had representatives, council. I was overwhelmed. And then
Wow.
there's a group of us investors, about 10 of us from the investors. Most of the investors are in, their families. So yeah, July 17th was a special day, and it's just blossomed from there. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. And then your family, are they in the area or?
Yeah. So we are, as I joke, I shouldn't say jokingly, but I feel like we're buds and we share. So it's a lot of times tables are coming to me like, where are you from? And why are you opening soul food? And give me the background. And I tell them first, I said, technically, all Black people in the United States are from the South. That was the entry point, not necessarily Ellis Island. That's where it's, so we
Yeah.
from the South. And then we migrated to other parts.
Mhm.
Well, for me, my family's been in California pretty much all my life. I was born in San Francisco, but my mom graduated from Oceanside High School because her brother was in the Marines down in Camp Pendleton. Before that, my mom was born in Arkansas, but at a young age, they migrated. They came out to California because of the
Okay.
military. So that's kind of my military background. But we're California, and but this place reminds me. And I had a cousin say it, and it got me emotional this weekend. He was like, and my younger cousin, he goes, this is the first time I feel like I'm back at 4866 Alondra, and that is my late aunt's address in Carlsbad, where we gathered for Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, birthdays. That's what I wanted LJ's to be. It's like inviting me over to my mom's house or my aunt's house
Yeah.
where we had good food, good music, laughter, love, community. That's what this is all about.
Amazing. And
Mm.
so you've been able to accomplish that.
Yes, ma'am.
And then has your family come in to?
They have. So
Okay.
my mom was here.
LJ herself.
LJ herself, the namesake. So we celebrated a joint birthday party this past weekend.
Okay.
So I turned,
Oh yeah.
I
It was
tu-
yesterday?
it was
Over the
Saturday.
weekend? Okay.
I turned 60 yesterday, August 17th. She turned 80 on July 24th. And so it's super special. We did a joint birthday party, and it was the third annual white party. So everyone dressed in white with a touch of purple.
Mhm.
And so we had a great fun time, packed house. Because you're asking about capacity. Weekends, Weekends have been so good that candidly, I talked to my consultant this morning. We have to work out some kinks and pinch points for service. Because as you know, the good problem to have is being busy.
Yeah.
The bad part about being busy is how do you not miss gaps in service?
Mhm.
And so we had to have some very tough conversations about making sure we're on open table. How are we staggering those appointments? How are we
Yeah.
managing how much flow goes back to the kitchen? We have a small kitchen. How
Mhm.
do we manage that flow? Because now you have people come from all over Southern California. They're coming from Riverside. They're coming from Rialto, Temecula, Eastville, Palm Springs, Victorville, LA, Long Beach. You make that drive, you now have a certain expectation you have to live up to. And so we have to work through some of those service kinks. Did we fail miserably? Absolutely not. But were there opportunities?
Okay.
100%
Okay. Up on the service side.
on the
So
service side.
I know it's only 6 weeks, but what are you looking for the, like the future? What's your vision? I mean, what's the future? I don't know, have it to be like home, but I mean, it's still early days. So
Yeah,
mhm.
I think we're right on track. We'll talk a little bit of numbers.
Yeah.
I was doing the math. That corporate background helps when I give all the other investors and stakeholders a little bit of an update. So
Mhm.
like this past weekend, we did 464 covers just on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 464 covers. That is awesome.
What's your capacity or
So we reduced it significantly on the wall. They could put in 84 inside and 42 on the patio for a total of 126. They had 3 booths. Personally, I don't know how they did it. We did remove some seating over there, but really, I think our max capacity at any given one time is about 110. And so again, all of a sudden you have 110 people, you have a small kitchen, you got to work through it. So we're on open table. We're working through it, but I would say that we were at max capacity. Sunday brunch, 100%. Saturday dinner, 100%.
yeah.
And Friday we were probably sitting at about, let's call it 75%, and then Sunday dinner about 75%. And brunch we have some increased capacity, but there were some bottlenecks going on between Saturday night and Sunday brunch. Yeah. And some of that staffing, because when you don't predict it and forecast it, now all of a sudden, do you have the right amount of servers?
Mm.
How are you seating them properly? Do we have the right amount of food inventory and different things we're working through?
Yeah. Yeah, what's your marketing secret? Because that's really great.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, uh,
You get to see so many podcast topics.
yeah. So
Yeah.
how would I throw this out? I would say timing. Timing is number one, and I'll
Yeah.
go into power of three. So the first one I'm going to say is timing.
Okay.
Timing, as I shared with you earlier, we got out in front of it early. So timing, get out, start it. Don't wait. My advice, don't wait. Start getting your messaging, your branding out early. Go. Even if it's not perfect, go. Start soon, go. Timing. Number two, consistency. Again, so cool to have my son involved and so special because he understands me and the same principles I taught him. He gets it. He's usually one step ahead. So what I would say is that we're so consistent. We post every single day, period in the story.
Good.
Post
Okay.
every day.
Good. Okay.
So timing, consistency. And then the last one is I'm going to go authenticity.
Mm.
Know who you are and stay in your lane. We're not trying to be, and it's so funny because I had to do, we had to do a Mythbusters because, and I'm passionate about this one, so bear with me. Because we were open a soul food restaurant, and I was saying I was trying to fill a void,
Yeah.
there was this misinterpretation that I wanted to be only Black. And that couldn't be further from the case. And
Mhm.
it hurts my feelings and it gets me a little riled up. And so we don't have this conversation if we talked about a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese
Yeah.
restaurant, an Italian restaurant, but all of a
Yeah.
sudden I say soul food, and now we start to get this cultural language involved or divisive.
Mm.
No, I just want to invite you over. I come over to your house for Italian food. I want you to come over to my house for soul food. So
Wow.
authenticity is important to me because I want you to come in and truly experience what we're about. And so that's why I think we're winning. So from a marketing perspective, timing, consistency, and stay your authentic self, and you'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. What do you say to people out there who have that dream and, want to open a place?
Take the risk, take the risk, and don't and take the risk, take the feedback, do the work. Do the work. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
No
And
shortcuts.
anything, I mean, because it is one of the few like Black and veteran owned businesses, right, in Orange County. Um, is there any
Hoorah.
what?
Hoorah. Semper Fi. Marine Corps. Hoorah.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of that, I mean, is that because you're saying on your podcast or maybe wanting to feature other Black owners or founders in the community or anything you're wanting to do in that
Yeah.
vein?
And that comes, Ivy, from where I can advocate culturally. I also acknowledge you know, I speak Spanish very well.
Okay.
I work for a Japanese company. I have mixed race children. So I want to be very direct about and from a faith perspective, I am all about unity. So I believe we're all here on this journey together. That said, I think other cultures do a really good job of rallying. I have some very, the Asian work, my eight close Asian friends, they bond really well as a community. I see
Mm.
the same thing in others. And so I think there's an opportunity culturally in the Black community, we can partner together and be more strategic. Again, not to be exclusive or divisive, how do we kind of rally and build up for economic empowerment, for generational wealth and just for education and let's keep it what it is. Accountability, hold one another accountable. That's what I'm looking for is how do we uplift I don't believe in having this scarcity mentality. I think
Mm.
there's more than enough to go around. But I think sometimes we get divisive because we're looking at this one versus this one. It's not about pitting any game. It's about making this stronger, and then we can all collectively be stronger together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, and how do people find you on social media or
So
Mhm.
we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok,
Mm.
we're on Facebook, we are on LinkedIn. We are on Buzzsprout. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. Yeah, so yeah, Kyle's got me trained well. My son's trained me well to like reverse engineering. So we're on all under LJ's Lounge. I think there might be some variations, whether that be LJS dot lounge or LJS whatnot could be, but LJ's Lounge is on all platforms, and I think between looking us up on Google, you should be able to find everything.
Okay.
And go to our website, ljslounge.com. Should link you to everything.
Okay. And you're here Tuesday through Sunday, right? Or Triangles.
Right now, we're
Yeah.
Tuesday through Sunday, and
Mhm.
Monday, September 14th, will open on Monday because dun 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 Monday Night Football.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Okay, we'll be here.
yes.
My partner's a big 49ers fan.
They're in. Yeah, I'm surrounded by Niner fans. Bang bang Niner gang. Oh my goodness, I'm surrounded by them. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today, guys. You can go ahead and find us on Walk-ins Welcome on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can also follow me on Instagram at Ivy Eats and TikTok at theivyEats.com. And we'll see you here next time on Walk-ins Welcome.